Sorry, I'm getting too close. Hello. I am just waiting for see if anybody gets on. But first of all, I'm going to look at these little things you can do with too much color and black and white. Pretty cool, eh? There's green, white, weird colors. I think that's just natural. But you can also write on here. Let's just see. We're going to put a little heart. Heart on the video. Heart over, oopsie. Heart over here. Okay. I know this is silly. And I need to put this up further. Okay, what I want to talk about is a few things here. And this is my tripod and I'm trying to fix it. Sorry, guys. I want to talk about the inner game, because so often, and as we know, I've talked about this before, but I guess because I'm working on my mindset a lot right now, and I see the real importance of it. I see how things need to shift. And when you work a lot with someone trying to make changes in their life, like eating better, and when you don't stick with it, you know there's always something behind it. It's kind of like, well, you use things like it's too expensive, or I don't have enough time, or I don't know what to do, or there's too much conflicting information, yada, yada, right? But it's always because something is stopping you inside. And now we're going to talk about a little about the little layers, right? Layers of things that can be stopping you and things that need to be shifted. Because health, like I've said so many times before, is really about the mind, body, and spirit. So it involves all of you. And as we know, our ego, what stops us, right? Ourselves. Old habits, behaviors, beliefs, things that we've thought, believed, talked about for so many years are there, and they can get in the way of us making some major changes. Now, sometimes we can make changes for a little bit of time, but then what happens is that once we've made the change, we're successful a little bit, we become uncomfortable, because it's like our ego, ourselves is realizing, oh, this is so different from the way I'm used to being, and we begin to feel uncomfortable. So when you begin to feel uncomfortable, that is when people tend to sabotage themselves, when things start to go a little backwards, when it feels like you're taking that one step forward and 3 steps back, right? Anybody know what that feels like? And so that is the time when something inside you is recognizing that you made a change, that things are not comfortable, that it's not the way it used to be. And we're always trying to bring us back to the way things used to be, right? To the old things, to the way things should be. Even though you yourself really wants to make a change. There's that ego or something inside of you pulling you back to where it feels more comfortable in those old habits, patterns, beliefs. And so that often is why people sabotage, where they quit, where they give up, where they think nothing's working, where little things happen in their life and they go, oh my God, see, I can't continue, where this got in my way, and it always gets in my way. Well, that is because it's just been a pattern. It's a belief. It's habits. It's something our ego wants to bring us back to. So what you need to do at that moment is have this awareness like, okay, I feel and I see what's happening. You need to sit in the uncomfortable feeling. And I had to do this because I've been working on some mindset stuff really big. And oh my God, like I had the worst, bitchiest weekend because I was just cranky all the time because I was feeling so out of sorts. Because I was working on some stuff, I was bringing up a whole bunch of crap, right? And that was making me feel uncomfortable inside. And that was making me feel like at that point, I didn't know it at the time, at the point where you're like, something inside you wants to pull you back down to where it feels safer, to where it feels better, right? And I was going, why do I hate being in this spot? What's going on? This feels terrible. And then I was reading a book, signs always come. I was reading a book, and it was so cool because it told me exactly what was going on. And when I had that awareness, that is what was going on with me in the inside. That was why I was feeling so uncomfortable. That was why. Then that helped calm me down completely. Then I stopped feeling so angry and frustrated. Whoever's jumped on, sorry, don't have my glasses on. Watch it from the beginning because it's good. I just was talking about how I was going through bringing up some mindset stuff old beliefs and pattern, they were starting to come up, and it started to feel so uncomfortable, and I didn't know why. And that was just because my ego was trying to bring me back down, right? I was having some new awarenesses. I was shifting. I was going like, oh my God, I'm making some changes. And then, of course, the ego comes in and makes you feel horrible because it doesn't want you to change. So when I felt that horribleness and that awareness, and I was reading that book, and that hit it bang on, but that's what was happening. I'm like, well, I don't care. I am not going backwards. I'm only going forwards. So this may feel really uncomfortable to me. This may feel horrible. I may feel like so out of sorts that you actually feel like I actually ended up feeling really bitchy and angry at everything. And so it wasn't a good feeling. And you know, when we think we're making changes, we're moving forward, we're growing, that it's going to all feel fantastic. But the thing that they don't tell you and that you don't realize is that it's going to feel really horrible at first. Because you're going to be put in this situation, this growth, this expansion that you're not used to. And that your ego's going to try to pull you back down. And so while you're reaching for that growth, while you're in it, at first you're really happy you're there. Then it brings up all the crap that you haven't dealt with because it's a new level of awareness. It needs to release that crap. That comes up. And when that comes up, it feels horrible. You feel angry, frustrated, because you're like, why am I going through this? Why? I'm not this type of a person. Why am I feeling all this? But it's just some old shit that's coming up and needs to be released. Oh, it was, when I figured that out, I mean, I got rid of that horrible feeling very, very fast. Just with the awareness that it's here. It just needs to be released. I can let it go because I'm growing. This means I'm actually growing as a person. I'm actually changing. I'm actually going to make some permanent freaking shifts here. So that's what that's all about. I just wanted to bring that because I thought it was so very important. So when someone goes to change what they eat and they're doing really well after a diet or after one of my programs or something, and they're going great and everything's going perfect, right? You can feel so good about yourself, and you do. You've made changes. You've lost the weight. Everything's perfect. And then, so you're going to that next level of awareness. You're shifting. You're growing as a person. But to fully grow as a person and to make a complete shift, you need to dump the junk that's still there. So that junk starts to come up to be released, to be dumped. Well, that is when it feels horrible. And that's when you take those steps backwards. That's when you fail. That's when you quit. That's when you go, oh, I just don't, this is not working. I feel terrible. I'm cranky and bitchy. You start looking for excuses to quit, looking for excuses for why it's not working all of a sudden. You start to put the weight back on. You start to go into craving things again, right? And reaching for those foods. Start sabotaging yourself. That's what happens. This is so big that when you realize that when that starts to happen, that is because you are growing. But if you allow that horrible feeling to bring you back down, you're not going to go forward, right? The change is not going to be permanent. It's going to go backwards again. So you want to have the awareness that this is happening, but feel it and know that it is because you are releasing the junk so that you can grow and continue to grow and not go backwards this time, not go backwards. So if you get through that, if you dump the junk, if you feel the uncomfortable feeling, I did some tapping, if you know what that is, emotional freedom technique, hugely helped. I did a lot of tapping. You know, I yelled it out. I swear I was just like, I'm not going to let this bother me again. This is the junk. I feel horrible. I feel terrible. I'm not putting up with this anymore. This is going to be released. I am not going to feel this way. I'm not going backwards. I'm not going to old behaviors and patterns. And I just kept, and I kept saying, I release this. I release this. This, I feel what this is. This is old junk needing to be released. So I release it. I get rid of it. I'm moving forward. I'm not going to go backwards. I'm not going to fall backwards. I'm not going to think I can't do this, right? It's just a lot of growth, and growth can be hard, and growth can be complicated. It can make you feel shitty, but if you don't go through that part, you're just going to stay where you are or go backwards, and no one wants to do that. So what else did I have to talk to you about today? Committing. Also, so it's like when you want to make those changes, when you really want to make them permanent, you really need to commit, right? So it's what is involved in healthy eating or in consistently eating healthy. it's a commitment to say, yes, I'm going to develop the habits. Yes, I'm going to follow through with them. Do we always feel like it? No, 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 you don't. So at first, to develop healthy habits or habits, you need to do something that you may not want to do all the time. It's a bit of a push. You need to force yourself a little bit to do those things. Then they will become habits. Should have talked about this first. And then when it's a habit and you're doing it for a little while, that's when you tend to hit that block that goes, all of a sudden you start to sabotage it. And that's when you need the awareness that you're just about to break through and it's about to become a permanent habit. But if you fall backwards, you'll go backwards. So you just need to sit in the uncomfortableness. Know that the ego wants to bring you backwards. Say that, no way, I'm going forwards. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to journal, 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 tap, tap, tap. Get over that shit and move forward. So work on making those habits. Work on making those beliefs something you want to stick with. You want to really commit to it. Do what it takes, because you don't want to feel that having consistent things you do every single day. Like even if it's 3 to 5 things. And I think I'm going to do a training this weekend about how you can set yourself up for something like that, so that you start little habits that you kind of do consistently every day, and then you force yourself to do them for a while, and then they can become just habits. And it's also talking about some of the things you do throughout the week that I do, and that many people aren't realizing that you can, so you can eat healthy consistently. So I'm going to talk about that in a training I'm going to do this weekend also, because it really sometimes just takes writing out a few things to begin with and going, okay, I commit to doing these 3 to 5 things each week, and you have it written down, then you know every day or every week this is what you're going to do, and then you just do it, right? And I think that might make it a lot easier for you guys, because I know that works for me. So, okay, if you've just jumped onto this video, I highly suggest you watch it from the beginning, because, hi Michelle, glasses, because it was really cool, and it's about mindset, and I'm going to put another, what do you guys want to see now? I want this purple. This is really funny. Just wait. If I can start writing. Oh, here. Woo! This is so silly. You can do this on the video. I don't know why they would have that. But it's kind of funny. Anyways, I'm just playing with, I forgot that I can play with my videos now. If you can frickin' see what you're doing. So I think I just deleted everything, eh? Oh, well. Okay. A big smile, happy face. Okay, so that's my message, and it is really good. It's about mindset shifts. It's about your ego pulling you back down. It's why you may sabotage in yourself. And what else did I talk about today? How you can catch yourself right before you sabotage. What's really going on, and the realization that'll get you back on track and going to that next level of success. All right. I think this is the eraser. There we go. Okay. Take care. And any other video you want me to do, I would love to hear from you. And don't forget, be part of my community, Women Creating Healthy Lives, because that's where all the action comes. And if you want more recipes, more recipe videos, meal ideas and all that, that's where I give a lot of those. Okay? So take care. Healthy, happy. Bye-bye. Got to shut this off. Now I can't see where to shut it off. Isn't this interesting? Oh, you guys, I don't know if it got turned off or not, and I am so sorry if it didn't, because I can't figure out how to shut it off. This is too funny. No. This is so weird. Like, seriously, I can't figure out how to shut it off. Oh, okay, got it. Oh, it's learning, eh?